I have the pleasure of being joined today by Geoff Thomas, who's the Senior Vice President for Asia Pacific and Japan at Qlik. Geoff, great to see you. Thank you so much for making time to catch up with me.
Good morning, Dez. Great to see you this morning.
So I wanted to catch up with you and get a couple of updates from you, just for our audience so they know what to expect from today's conversation. I'd like to quickly get an update on how you're going and get an insight into your role and what a day in the life of Geoff Thomas is like, get some insights on what some of the latest data trends and so forth and happenings are around the APJ and APAC region. Then I'd love to chat briefly about the Qlik Connect 2024 event coming up through June the 3rd to 5th in Orlando in Florida, and talk about some of the highlights there. But firstly, Geoff, give us a little insight into your role as Senior Vice President for the region at Asia Pacific and Japan at Qlik, and what's a day in the life of Geoff Thomas like currently?
Yeah, absolutely, Des. So I'm responsible for all of Qlik's business operations in the Asia Pacific region. That basically covers 6 operating areas: ANZ, ASEAN, Japan, Korea, Greater China, and India. Most of my time is spent, traveling around the region, meeting with our teams, our customers, and our partners, and helping them, with their data needs. So I've been doing this for 5 years on Monday. It will be. I love it, and I really love working in this region.
Yes, indeed. When I was doing my homework, and I did make a mental note to congratulate you on your 5-year anniversary at Qlik, but you're no stranger to the region. You've certainly held roles, very senior roles across this region. So you're a local native, but a fellow Aussie as well. Yep. What are some of the things that you're seeing around the region, in particular data trends? Obviously, Qlik as an organization has long had a pedigree and a history in data, and obviously in data protection, data storage, cloud-based solutions, on-prem solutions, and now a big focus on AI for obvious reasons. What are some of the things you're seeing out there with your customers, without necessarily naming the customers for obvious reasons, but some of the challenges they're facing, particularly around the data space?
Yeah, well, as I travel around Asia Pacific, what I can tell you is that the whole world of data is as important in this region as it really is anywhere in the world. Although there are differences between the different geographies. Obviously, in Asia Pacific, we've got everything from emerging markets to mature markets like Japan and Australia. The needs, really, the common thread is the same, and that is that more and more, whether they be government bodies or enterprises, they're looking for how they can take better advantage of their data. So it's extremely vibrant out here. As you would expect, generative AI is highly topical. Every executive that I talk to is trying to figure out how they're going to embrace Gen AI and build that into their 3 to 5 year strategies. I think, though, that less than 40% actually have a real strategy around it. So they're spending a lot of time on that. In fact, a couple of weeks ago, I was in Hong Kong attending the HSBC Global Investment Summit. A lot of thought leaders there, a lot of bankers there, different kind of environment to where I would normally spend my time. But a lot of the agenda was really around AI, CEOs talking about, how they're going to embrace AI and use that. I think the other thing is that organizations feel a little bit stuck between kind of the old world of data, which think of that as being more the, data science, if you will, and the new world, which is more around Gen AI. So they're trying to bridge this maturity gap. We call that hybrid AI. And a lot of what's been available for years and what we've been working on, things like automated machine learning, pattern recognition, predictions, things like that, they've been available for many years. So that's a lot of the work that we're doing with customers is around that. The other thing I would say is that data origin matters. This is a lot of thing that executives are talking about. If you thought that things like data quality and data lineage were important before, you ain't seen nothing yet in the new world of Gen AI. That's really going to become a non-negotiable. So there's some of the trends that I'm seeing as I travel around the region.
Fantastic. Yes, you touched on a couple of really big things there, and I wanted to circle back on just two of those. I know regionally there's a lot of regulatory and compliance requirement, and I believe that Qlik recently was certified for, I think it's IRAT4 locally for local government, but certainly in other regions you've had that. And you would have seen that at the HSBC event, which for me often is kind of like the Asia Pac version of Cybos with regard to the financial services and insurance or FSI space. But an interesting point there you touched on with regard to data origin. We've been, challenged with a range of things with regard to, I guess, the challenge of digital transformation and the adoption of SaaS or cloud-based services, which Qlik has offered for a long time. But then data locality became a big challenge, as in where is our data and how do we manage it and wrap our arms around and secure it? But as you said, now that data origin becomes an issue, particularly while we're using third-party environments to generate content in generative AI. And those GPTs are producing stuff that we don't necessarily know where it came from, and then bring it into environments where we're expecting to manage that. But you touched on another point there, if I could just touch on, and I know you're probably doing a lot of work on this from your professional services side of things and advisory across your customers at Qlik. And that is that you said that there's still a lot of work to be done on AI strategy from board level down. I imagine that's creating some challenges for organizations as they're still grappling with the end of digital transformation, cloud adoption, and now they've got regulatory compliances with sort of the last 4 years of the COVID-19 challenge and everything going online, people working remotely. What's the journey like, just in very high level form, if you don't mind, so that our audience can sort of get an idea of how you and your team at Qlik can help them when you have a conversation at various levels of the company around where they're at with their AI strategy. What are some of the things they should be thinking about? And then what are some of the conversations that you'd like them to have with you on how you can help them develop that strategy, implement it, and then maintain it?
Yeah. Well, you're right with what you say. It's I think that they've got more on their plate than they ever had before in terms of threading all of these things together. We spend a lot of our time talking to them about the importance of the data quality, data governance side that I talked about before. That's more important than ever in this new world. If you're going to be putting your data into Gen AI models, you really need to understand the quality of that data, where it came from. So that's a big part of it, working with them, working with customers or non-customers on strategies around that. That's certainly something that we can help. That's a big part of what we do with our talent portfolio. So that's a big focus for them, definitely. Regulatory obviously varies a little bit by industry as well. If you look at an industry that we work closely with is banking and financial services, insurance, obviously heavily regulated, varies by country. But we can help them with a lot of that as well in highly regulated environments. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting challenge, but it's a great challenge. And with the acquisition of Talend just over a year ago, I believe it is now, you've now got that ability to do the data transformation on the way in or out, and obviously then the capabilities that Qlik brings to the table in the Qlik ecosystem. So that gives you the chance to sort of look at what's happening with the data and where the data is coming from and how it's being treated as it comes through the Talend pipeline you've now integrated. I wonder if we could now pivot to Qlik Connect 2024, your annual conference, and I love the tagline, where data meets opportunity. I want a t-shirt with that on it, and I'm an XL, by the way, but it's being held in Orlando in Florida in America, of course, the week of June the 3rd through to the 5th. I wonder if you could maybe just give us a little quick summary of kind of, what the event itself can offer folk, obviously from the region APAC, but around the world. I know it's got a heavy user focus and a heavy customer focus. I've had the privilege of going to it for many years myself, and I love the combination of the keynotes, the breakout sessions, the roundtables and panels, and then the expo floor, and the opportunity just to meet peers and birds of a feather, as well as business partners and customers. For you, what are some of the standout parts of the event, particularly this year?
Yeah, well, first of all, it's a great event. There's a couple of events that really stand out for me at Qlik. One is our sales kickoff, which happens every January, but Qlik Connect is the other one. And obviously the thing that is amazing about Qlik Connect is we get all of our customers and partners together, as well as our teams from across the world, all in all in one space, sharing stories, networking, hearing about the future of data. So it's an exciting time. We have a great delegation coming from Asia Pacific, which is exciting. There's a couple of great sessions that I'm looking forward to. Obviously, we're going to hear from Mike Capone, our CEO, around our vision and strategy and how we see the future and what's coming along. We have a special guest, an ex-program director from NASA, Greg Robertson, who's going to be sharing some insights, which is going to be fascinating. I think some of that is his time working on the James Webb Space Telescope. So I'm really looking forward to those two sessions. All of the sessions are going to be great. We've got a couple of our customers from India who are going to be speaking there, Mahindra and Maruti. So of course I'm looking forward to that as well.
Fantastic. Yes, I'm a space geek myself, so I'm very much looking forward to hearing the story about the James Webb Space Telescope. It was interesting to see the other day that there's a few scientists now having an interesting scratch their head day when they're seeing things back further in time that we thought existed. So can't wait to hear how he's going to explain that one. And there's a few standouts for me as well. I mean, Qlik has recently formed their AI Council, as you know, and I'm looking forward to the 4 individuals who are now part of that formed council. I'm sure it'll grow over time, but particular Ruman Chowdhury, Kelly Forbes, Nina Schick, and Michael Bronstein. Be looking forward to their individual sessions, and I'm sure they'll be doing a panel as well. For our audience, I wonder if you could maybe just share, to wrap us up, some details around where people can go to learn about the event itself and learn about some of the keynote speakers and sessions you've just mentioned, some of the breakouts and exhibitors, some of the partners, and also obviously where to register and come and join us at the event itself.
Absolutely, Des. So yeah, it's all up on qlik.com, QLIK.com. There's also actually a separate space they can go to, which is QlikConnect.com. And it's all up there. They'll be able to navigate easily to all sorts of information on the event, and of course register. So that is definitely the best way for people to get information on the event.
Fantastic. Well, Geoff, thank you so much for making time to catch up with me. It's great to see you again. Looking forward to see you in Orlando. And for our audience, as Geoff just outlined, you can get full details on Qlik's company website, qlik.com. That's QLIK.com, or QlikConnect.com, the event website. We'd like you to join the conversation on digital and social platforms, whether it's LinkedIn groups, through Twitter and so forth, and follow the Qlik Connect hashtag. That's #QlikConnect, one word, QLIK Connect. And we'll have, wherever you see this video, we'll have links and details of how you can get to those addresses and learn more about the event, learn about the speakers, the keynotes, the breakouts, the sessions, the expo itself. There's always an exciting expo floor. And of course, we'd like you to register nice and early, and we'll look forward to seeing you there in person. Geoff, have a great day. Thank you so much for making time to catch up with me, and we'll look forward to seeing you at the event.
Des, it was my pleasure. Great to see you, and we'll see you in Orlando.
Indeed. Thanks, Geoff.